2 years ago, I stood on the porch with a torn backpack, 10 crumpled dollars in my pocket, and my father's voice cutting through the night. Get out. You're not my problem anymore. The door slammed. The porch light went out. I slept behind a gas station that night. It's strange. I still remember when he used to carry me on his shoulders after soccer games, when Mom made my favorite soup and we'd eat together like we were something close to a family. But somewhere between my 16th birthday and my 18th, the warmth turned into ice. Dad's words sharpened. Mom's eyes stopped meeting mine. They called it tough love. I called it abandonment. The night before they kicked me out, I'd confronted Dad about money he'd promised for my college fund. He laughed in my face. "You're not going to college. You're going to get a job and start paying rent here." When I said no, he smiled in that slow, cruel way that meant trouble. "You think you're too good for this family? Then leave." I thought Mom would stop him. She didn't even look up from her phone. I spent the next year learning how to survive. I worked 2 jobs, morning shifts at a cafe, night shifts loading trucks. I slept in a basement room I rented for cash, with a ceiling so low I couldn't stand straight. But every hour I worked, I saved. Not just money, information. I checked public property records in my free time. I read about mortgages, liens, eviction laws. I learned how money moves when no one's paying attention. Because even then, I knew this story wasn't over. The first crack came from a mutual acquaintance, my old neighbor, Mrs. Lane. She called me one rainy Thursday. "Your folks' house is on the market," she said. "Rumor is they're drowning in debt." I didn't say much, just thanked her. But that night, I stayed up until 3 a.m. digging. It was true. They'd refinanced twice, maxed out credit lines. The house was slipping through their fingers. And that's when I saw it, a foreclosure notice, set for public auction in 3 months. I didn't gloat, I didn't send a warning, I just started preparing. I met with a real estate agent under a fake LLC I'd registered online for $75. We attended the auction. One bidder, me. By the end of the day, I owned the deed to my parents' house. For 2 months, I kept my distance. I renovated it. Fresh paint, repaired floors, new appliances. I turned it into something warm, mine. I moved in on a Sunday morning, sat on the same porch where I'd once stood in the dark with $10 in my hand. This time, the keys were mine. The knock came 3 weeks later. I opened the door to find my father, thinner now, eyes darting. Mom stood behind him, her makeup smudged. He tried to smile. "We heard you're living here now. Thought maybe we could work something out." I leaned against the doorframe. Work something out? Mom stepped forward, her voice softer than I remembered. "It's just, we don't have anywhere to stay right now. We could help around the house, pay you back eventually." I let the silence stretch until Dad shifted uncomfortably. "Do you remember," I said slowly, "how much money you gave me when you kicked me out?" He blanked. "That's not $10. I kept my voice even. "And a warning to never come back." Mom's jaw tightened. "That was a long time ago. We're still your family." I smiled, not kindly. "No. Your people I used to live with." I didn't slam the door. I just closed it, slow enough for them to see the life they'd thrown away standing on the other side of the glass. Through the window, I watched them walk back to their car. Dad's shoulders hunched. Mom kept her head down. No shouting, no begging, just the quiet understanding that the only home they had left was no longer theirs. That night, I sat at the kitchen table, the one they'd left behind when the bank took the house. The same spot where Dad once told me I'd never make it on my own. The irony tasted better than any revenge I'd imagined. People think revenge is fire and rage. It isn't. It's patience. It's building something so solid they can't touch it, then watching as they realize they burned every bridge to reach it. 2 years ago, they left me with $10. Now, I own the roof over their heads, and they'll never live under it again.